The galaxy had always known Earth as a noisy world. From the first day humans built machines that touched the stars, their voices spread like wildfire. Radio waves, music, laughter, even war cries. Everything traveled far, carried on invisible, streams of energy. For centuries, alien civilizations had listened to the chatter of humanity. To some aliens, these signals were entertaining. They laughed at human songs, puzzled over strange languages, and even copied human dramas into their own shows. To others, Earth's endless noise was a warning, proof that humans were bold, loud, and unafraid to let the galaxy know they existed. But then, one day, it stopped. No signal, no sound, no whisper of life from Earth. At first, the silence seemed like a simple accident, a broken satellite, a storm in Earth's upper atmosphere, a technical failure. But as hours turned to days, the silence deepened. Alien listeners grew uneasy. Entire monitoring stations checked their systems again and again. Antennas were tuned, receivers reset, satellites realigned. But nothing came. Earth, the world that never stopped talking, had gone completely quiet. The first to notice were the traders. Alien merchants who passed close to Earth's solar system expected to see ships, satellites, and traffic buzzing like insects. Instead, they saw drifting silence. Some reported half-finished transmissions frozen in space, like words cut short, in mid-breath. Then the military scouts took notice. Across different star empires, fleets that had long feared humanity now stared at reports in disbelief. Earth's cities still shone with light, but no voice rose from the blue planet. Not one. The silence spread fear. In the Grand Council of Xenar, alien leaders debated furiously. Perhaps they destroyed themselves, one elder croaked. No, hissed another. Humans do not vanish so easily. But their silence, it is unnatural. It feels like a trap. Across the galaxy, whispers grew louder. Had humanity fallen? Was Earth destroyed? Or was the silence a warning? No one could say, and that uncertainty was worse than any weapon. In the dark halls of alien capitals, governments argued. Some believed humanity had suffered a disaster, plague, war, or even planetary collapse. They were ready to celebrate, thinking one of the galaxy's most dangerous species was finally gone. But others shook their heads. They had studied humanity for centuries. They had seen humans rise from caves, build cities, split atoms, and step into space in less than a single galactic lifetime. To them, silence was not weakness. Silence was purpose. Meanwhile, rumors spread through the common people. On distant colonies, alien civilians whispered stories to each other. The humans are waiting. They are hiding. They are planning something. The fear of the unknown grew like fire. Then came the first evidence. A patrol ship from the Veyari Empire approached Earth's orbit. Its scanners detected something strange. The skies above Earth were empty. Too empty. The countless satellites humans had once used to send signals were still there, but many were lifeless. Some floated dead, powerless, like tombstones in orbit. Others still blinked faintly, repeating the same useless code. Yet the planet below looked untouched. Cities glowed at night. Oceans shimmered blue. The forests and deserts stretched wide as ever. But there was no voice, no radio wave, no music in the stars. The report spread fast, and with it came dread. The Council of Allied Systems met in emergency session. Alien leaders filled the great chamber with panic. Earth is playing a game, one shouted. They are hiding their strength, another warned. Or they are gone, argued a third. But no one believed the last voice. Not truly. Because in their hearts, every alien leader remembered the stories of humanity. Stories of humans who fought until the last breath. Stories of humans who turned defeat into victory with stubborn will. Stories of humans who had once looked into the endless void of space and declared, "We will not bow." And so the silence became something greater than fear. It became a shadow over the galaxy. On distant worlds, children asked their parents, "Why is Earth so quiet?" and the parents had no answer. Soldiers trained with trembling hands, unsure if they would face human fleets again. Even kings and emperors found themselves staring into the night sky, wondering when the silence would end. Because silence, they realized, was not peace. Silence was the storm before thunder, and when humans were quiet, it only meant one thing. Something terrible was coming. The galaxy held its breath, waiting, watching, dreading. And still, Earth said nothing. The silence of Earth became the loudest sound in the galaxy. Weeks passed, then months. Still no message, no song, no chatter. For the first time in living memory, the humans were invisible. The alien powers grew restless. Fleets patrolled closer to the solar system, scanning and searching. Yet every report came back the same. Earth was alive but silent. The people of the galaxy began to call it the quiet planet. But silence did not bring comfort. It brought fear. The alien scouts. The Veyari Empire sent its fastest scouts into Earth's orbit. The ships drifted above the blue planet, watching, listening. What they saw was strange. Earth's surface looked normal. Cities glowed at night. Roads still lined the continents. The ocean still shimmered like liquid sapphire. But not one ship left the planet. Not one voice rose from the ground. The scouts sent drones lower. They reported empty streets, trains standing still, towers lit but silent inside. As if 1 billion humans had simply stopped speaking all at once. "Are they dead?" one scout whispered. "No," answered another. "Humans do not die quietly. Something else is happening." Fear in the council across the galaxy, alien rulers argued. In the crystal chamber of the Grand Council, voices echoed, "Perhaps a disease wiped them out." No, their cities are alive. Their machines still run. Then they are hiding something. They are preparing for war. One elder raised his trembling hand. "Listen to me," he said. "Humans are not weak. They are hunters. A hunter does not shout when he stalks prey. A hunter waits in silence." The chamber fell into uneasy quiet. None dared to disagree. Rumors among the stars on distant worlds, ordinary people whispered rumors. They say humans built a secret weapon. They say Earth is only pretending to be weak. They say the silence is a trap. Merchants feared to pass near the solar system. Traders who once bought Earth's music and art now avoided the blue world, as if silence itself was poison. Soldiers in alien barracks trained harder, but fear never left their eyes. They had all heard tales of humanity's stubborn rage, how humans had fought impossible wars and refused to surrender. If humanity was silent, then something worse than war was coming. The first signs. Then strange signals appeared, not from Earth, but from deep space. Scattered whispers of encrypted transmissions were caught by alien listening posts. The signals were faint, moving, as if carried by ships traveling in the dark. The codes were human, but twisted, layered, with firewalls so thick even the best alien minds could not break them. "Where are the signals coming from?" asked one commander. "Not Earth," his officer replied. "From beyond the edge of known space." The meaning was terrifying. Humanity was no longer tied to Earth. They had gone silent not because they were weak, but because they were moving. Empty orbit, more scouts entered Earth's orbit. This time they saw what was missing. The great human defense fleets, the warships that once guarded the solar system, were gone. Entire orbital stations had vanished. Even the mighty battle platforms circling Mars were missing. The silence was no accident. Earth had emptied its skies. A message spread like wildfire through alien governments. The humans have left their nest. Panic in the galaxy, fear turned into panic. Alien rulers demanded answers. Armies were mobilized. Fleets patrolled every border. "What if the humans strike first?" one warlord demanded. "They could be anywhere," cried another. "We must attack Earth before they return," a third insisted. But who would dare? Earth still glowed blue and beautiful, untouched and waiting. To attack it felt like walking into a trap, and so the galaxy hesitated. The quiet threat weeks stretched into months. The silence pressed on the galaxy like a weight. Every empire watched the stars, waiting for the storm. On one remote colony, a farmer looked up at the night sky and whispered to his child, "Do you hear it? The humans have gone quiet. That means they are listening. That means they are waiting." The child asked, "Waiting for what?" The father had no answer. The signal then. On the 300th day of Earth's silence, a signal flashed across the stars. It was brief. Only 3 words. No one knew where it came from. But every listening post, every empire, every scout ship heard it, and the words were clear. "We are coming." The galaxy froze. Every leader, every soldier, every civilian knew at that moment. The silence had never been weakness, it had been preparation. And now the hunters were ready to strike. The message, "We are coming," echoed through every star system. It was short, it was simple, but it shook the galaxy like thunder. The aliens had feared humanity's silence. Now they understood that the silence was only the beginning. The bow. Great search every empire scrambled to find the human fleet. Thousands of probes and scout ships searched the edges of known space. They searched asteroid belts, nebula clouds, and abandoned stations. But they found nothing. The humans were ghosts. Only fragments of encrypted transmissions drifted in the void. They moved fast, carried by ships that never showed themselves. No alien could break the codes. No alien could track the origins. It was as if the humans had learned to hide in the very shadows of space. The fear of leaders' alien rulers grew desperate. In the war chamber of the Cryan Dominion, generals shouted across the table. "They are building weapons. They are planning war. We must strike Earth before it is too late." But their emperor only stared at the glowing star maps. "No," he whispered. "This is not about Earth anymore. Humanity has gone beyond their homeworld. Earth is the bait. The trap is somewhere else." His words spread like fire. Earth is no longer their fortress. Humanity itself has become the weapon. The first encounter. Then came the first sighting, a mining outpost. At the edge of the Denari cluster reported shadows moving across their scanners. At first they thought it was an asteroid storm, but the shadows moved in formation, perfect, silent formation. The miners panicked. They tried to send a warning, but their message was cut off. Hours later, rescue ships arrived. The outpost was gone. Not destroyed. Gone. Every building, every ship, every piece of technology had vanished. In its place was only a symbol, burned into the rock. A circle of fire, the ancient crest of Earth's first explorers. The message was clear. Humanity had returned to the stars and they wanted the galaxy to know it. Whispers of the fleet rumors spread faster than light. They have ships the size of moons. They can bend light and hide from every scanner. They move without sound, like shadows of war. Some said the human fleet was hidden in deep space, building a new empire far from prying eyes. Others claimed they had already infiltrated alien systems, waiting for the signal to strike. No one knew the truth, but every empire feared it. A scientist's warning on a distant planet, an old alien scientist gave a speech to his council. His voice trembled, but his words were sharp. "You do not understand humanity," he said. "They are not like us. We wait for orders, for councils, for votes. But humans, they move as one when threatened. They do not need to be told to fight. It is in their nature." The council laughed nervously, but the scientist continued. "When Earth went silent, it was not the end. It was the beginning. Silence is their shield. Silence is their sword. And when they break it, the galaxy will hear war like never before." His warning was dismissed. But deep in their hearts, even the council members knew he was right. The revelation finally. The truth came. A patrol fleet of the Zelar Republic found itself ambushed near a dying star. Human warships emerged from the darkness, sleek and vast. their hulls painted black as night. They moved without sound, without light, until they struck. In minutes, the Xelar fleet was gone. Not one survivor escaped. But the galaxy learned something, far more terrifying than human weapons. The ships carried no flags, no symbols, no marks of nation or government. They carried only one name, glowing faintly on their hulls: the Silence Fleet. Humanity had not vanished. They had united. Every human nation, every colony, every fleet had joined together. The silence of Earth had been the sound of unity, the gathering of all mankind into one unstoppable force. The broadcast, after the battle, a broadcast spread across the stars. It was the first clear human voice heard in almost a year. It said only this: we were divided once. The galaxy thought it could frighten us. It thought we would break, but humanity does not break. Humanity does not bow. We are silent when we hunt, and now, the hunt begins. The message ended. The galaxy trembled. The storm before war. Now there was no doubt. Humanity's silence had been preparation, not weakness. The Silence Fleet was real. The humans had risen together, stronger than ever. Across alien worlds, soldiers stared into the night sky and wondered if the next star to go dark would be theirs. For the galaxy had learned the truth too late. When Earth fell silent, humanity was not defeated. It was sharpening its claws, and now the universe would feel their wrath. The galaxy had feared humanity's silence. Then it feared their message. But nothing could prepare it for their wrath. The first strike. It began at the rim of the Zalakor Empire. A fleet of 30 alien warships patrolled the border, scanning for shadows in the dark. They were the pride of the Zalakor Navy, armed with the latest weapons and guided by the most advanced minds. But when the humans came, none of that mattered. The Silence Fleet arrived without warning, black ships emerging from the void like living shadows. They did not hail. They did not threaten. They simply struck. Energy beams cut through alien hulls with surgical precision. Missiles tore apart command ships in seconds, and the silence of space was broken only by the screams of burning metal. Within 12 minutes, the entire Zalakor fleet was gone. The Silence Fleet vanished again, leaving nothing but wreckage and fear. The message of fire on alien news broadcasts, civilians watched in horror as images of destroyed ships filled their screens. Experts shouted, priests prayed, children wept, but then came the most terrifying moment. Above the ruins of the Zalakor fleet, one human ship lingered for a heartbeat longer. Its hull shimmered, and words burned across its side in white light, visible even to distant telescopes. This is only the beginning. Panic across the stars. The galaxy fell into chaos. Empires sent their fleets to defend every border, but their numbers were too small. The Silence Fleet could appear anywhere, strike, and vanish. No scanner could follow them. No sensor could catch them. Merchants abandoned trade routes. Colonies sealed themselves inside bunkers. Worlds once loud with music and markets became silent themselves, as if afraid to draw attention. The galaxy, once vast and proud, now lived in fear of footsteps they could not hear. Humanity's tactics. The Silence Fleet did not fight like other empires. Where aliens sought glory in massive battles, humans fought like hunters. They attacked weak points, supply convoys, fuel stations, command relays. Entire star systems were cut off from their capitals. Fleets found themselves stranded, their fuel gone, their communications severed. When the aliens realized what was happening, it was too late. The Silence Fleet was not just winning battles. It was collapsing entire empires from the inside out. The fall of Veyari, the Veyari Empire, had once mocked humanity. Now they became the second victims. Human warships appeared above their capital world, not in thousands, but only in 20. The aliens laughed at first. They had hundreds of ships in defense. But laughter turned to terror when the human ships unleashed weapons the galaxy had never seen. Massive beams of pure plasma cut through. Shields as if they were paper. Swarms of drones poured out, small but deadly. slipping between defenses and destroying power cores, and then, without a word, the humans left. They did not conquer. They did not enslave. They only left the Veyari capital burning, its sky filled with smoke and silence. The broadcast of wrath hours later, every channel in the galaxy was hijacked. Screens flickered, radios buzzed, and a single human face appeared. He wore no uniform, no crown, no symbol of rank. Only the cold stare of a man speaking for his kind. You thought our silence was weakness. You thought Earth was vulnerable. But humanity does not vanish. Humanity prepares. We do not seek your lands. We do not seek your wealth. We seek only this, to remind you that if you threaten us, you will pay. We are the Silence Fleet, and we will not stop. The message ended. Across the galaxy, hearts trembled. The spread of fear. From that day, the galaxy was divided into two kinds of people: those who prayed they would never see a human ship, and those who knew they already would. Alien rulers argued for surrender. Others demanded revenge. But no one could agree. No one could stop the Silence Fleet. For the first time in galactic history, the greatest empires bent under the shadow of a single species. The wrath unleashed world after world fell, not to occupation but to fire and silence. Human fleets struck fast, destroyed and vanished again. Some alien generals tried to set traps. They hid fleets in nebulae, laid mines along hyperspace lanes. But every time, the humans were one step ahead. It was as if they knew the traps before they were even set. They are listening to us, one alien commander whispered in despair. They hear everything. They know everything. The lesson of silence. The galaxy finally understood. When Earth had gone silent, it was not the end of humanity. It was their rebirth. The silence was never weakness. It was the sharp breath before the strike. It was the stillness of the predator before it leaped, and now the leap had begun. The galaxy had once thought it was watching over Earth, but now it realized the silence of Earth had been watching over them all along. The galaxy burned, not all at once, not in endless fire, but in flashes like lightning storms scattered across the stars. The Silence Fleet appeared, struck, and vanished again. Worlds that once laughed at humanity now whispered in fear. Empires that once threatened Earth now begged their neighbors for help. But help never came because no one could fight what they could not see. Silence across civilizations. In the months that followed, silence began to spread, not only from Earth but from alien worlds as well. Trade routes went dark, colonies cut transmissions. Civilizations that once filled the galaxy with chatter and light now fell quiet, afraid that their signals would draw the hunters. And so, one by one, alien worlds began to copy Earth. They silenced their skies. They dimmed their beacons. The galaxy that had once been filled with millions of voices became a place of whispers and shadows. The broken empires. The Zalakor Empire collapsed first. Without fleets, without supplies, its worlds turned on each other. Once proud warlords now begged for peace, but peace never came. The Veyari followed. Their capital still smoldered, and their colonies abandoned them. No ally came to their rescue. Even the mighty Zelar Republic, once boasting fleets of steel across 100 systems, began to retreat inward, pulling ships close to their homeworlds, too afraid to look beyond their skies. For the first time in galactic history, the great powers of the stars bowed their heads in fear, fear of one species, united in silence and wrath. The alien councils, in hidden chambers, leaders met in secret. We must unite, one shouted. If we do not, humanity will destroy us all, another warned. They will not stop until the galaxy itself is theirs. But no unity came. Old rivalries burned too deep. Mistrust poisoned every word. Instead of standing together, the empires turned on each other, blaming one another for provoking the humans. The Silence Fleet did not need to fight them. The galaxy was already tearing itself apart. Humanity's choice, and yet, Humanity did not conquer. Their fleets struck, burned, and vanished, but they did not stay. They did not occupy. They did not enslave. Instead, they left messages, sometimes carved into stone, sometimes burned into skies, sometimes whispered across broken transmitters. Remember our silence. The galaxy began to understand. This was not conquest. This was a warning. The whisper of children on alien worlds. Children asked questions their parents could not answer. Will the humans come here? Why are they angry? Why do they punish us? And the parents had no words, only fear. The silence of Earth had become a story told across stars. When humanity goes quiet, danger is near. The last broadcast. Then, 1 year after Earth first, went silent. The Silence Fleet spoke again. Every channel across the galaxy lit up at once. Screens flickered, radios hummed, and once more the same human face appeared. But this time, his words were heavier. We have shown you our wrath. We have reminded you who we are. We did not do this for conquest. We did this for memory. The galaxy must never forget. Humanity does not vanish. Humanity does not bow. Humanity does not forgive. He paused. His eyes burned with quiet fire. Our silence is not the end. Our silence is the beginning. The next time the stars hear nothing from Earth, know this: we are already behind you. The whole broadcast ended. The cliffhanger panic swept the galaxy. Some worlds surrendered before a shot was fired. Others fell into rebellion, too afraid of what humanity might do next. But far away at the edge of known space, something darker stirred. For in the cold void beyond the stars, hidden fleets of humans waited still. Not all of them had struck. Not all of them had revealed their power. The Silence Fleet was vast, larger than anyone had guessed. And as the galaxy tried to rebuild, humanity was already preparing the next chapter. The silence had returned once more, and this time, the galaxy prayed it would never be broken again.